Hello everyone, welcome back to Tech Study with Lalit. In today's we are going to understand more about REST API methods and what all are the endpoints, what is URI, and what all are the difference between request and response, and what all are the CRUD operations we have. So let's understand quickly first REST API, how REST API works actually with a real-time example on a high level actually. So लेट्स सपोज दिस इज़ योर एप्लीकेशन. ये हमारे पास में एक एप्लीकेशन है. लेट्स सपोज आई नीड द फूड डिलीवरी लाइक स्विगी और जोमेटो. ओके, लेट्स से स्विगी. तो स्विगी है, आपने ओपन किया स्विगी को और इसमें रियल टाइम डेटा रहता है, तो डायनेमिक डेटा रहता है, ये आपको पता ही होगा. तो ये रिफ्रेश होता रहता है डेटा, ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द आपका जो रेस्टोरेंट्स है वो ऑन अवेलेबल है या नहीं है, ठीक है, उसके बेसिस पे डेटा अवेलेबल होता है. और आपका कोई फूड आइटम है वो अवेलेबल है या नहीं है, उसके बेसिस पे डेटा अवेलेबिलिटी दिखाता है. तो अगर लेट से कि मैंने कुछ ऑर्डर, मैंने सिटी सेलेक्ट किया इस पर, ठीक है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग इसने मुझे एक रिफ्रेश करके दिखा दिया रेस्टोरेंट्स की लिस्ट को. ओके, अब यहाँ पर समझने वाली बात यह है कि यहाँ पर मुझे एक रिफ्रेश डेटा आया, ठीक है, ये मेरा सिटी है, ये मेरा रेस्टोरेंट्स है, और तीसरे नंबर मेरा है मैंने कोई फूड आइटम यहाँ से पर देखा कि भाई पर्टिकुलर रेस्टोरेंट में, लेट सपोज कि एक रेस्टोरेंट है पंजाबी तड़का, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एग्जांपल. ओके, एंड दिस इज लेट्स से दिल्ली. इसके लिए मेरे को एक फूड आइटम सर्च करना है, दाल मखनी प्लस ब्रेड्स. ओके ओके, और वी कैन से रोटी. So basically what happens, this will request to the server, okay, via object, JSON object basically. So basically REST API what it will do, it will create a object here. यहाँ पे एक ऑब्जेक्ट बन जाएगा जहाँ पर हमारा सिटी है, ठीक है, और ये स्टैंडर्ड इनपुट हमारा सेट हो जाएगा. रेस्टोरेंट, यहाँ पर रेस्टोरेंट आ जाएगा और फूड आइटम हो जाएगा, ठीक है, जो जो उसको इनपुट चाहिए स्टैंडर्ड इनपुट वो यहाँ पर पहले से ही रेडी रहेगा ऑब्जेक्ट के रूप में. और यहाँ पर ये रिक्वेस्ट बॉडी जो है वेब सर्वर से हिट करेगी, वेब सर्वर को क्वेरी करेगी. तो यहाँ से जो सर्वर का रिस्पॉन्स आएगा वो यहाँ पर इस डेटा को फिट कर देगा. जैसे सिटी दिल्ली यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, रेस्टोरेंट आपका पंजाबी तड़का हो जाएगा, और फूड आइटम आपका ये हो जाएगा जो मैंने सर्च किया था. और उसके बाद में यहाँ पर इसको स्विगी को दे देगा कि यहाँ पे इसकी अवेलेबिलिटी है, यस नो, जो भी है डेटा यहाँ पे स्टेट ट्रांसफ़र हो जाएगी. बेसिकली वी कैन से ओनली वैल्यूज और डेटा विल बी ट्रांसफर. So that's how this is. That's why we can say it is representational state transfer, and that we understood in a previous video in more depth. You can watch my previous video if you haven't seen. You can see this link by clicking on the link at the end of this video. So stay tuned with this video. Okay, watch till end. You get lots of the things from this video. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. तो हम समझते हैं कि बेसिकली कि यहाँ पर हमारे पास में कौन कौन से HTTP मेथड्स हैं अवेलेबल. तो यहाँ पर हमारे पास में जो बेसिकली हमारे जो CRUD ऑपरेशंस होते हैं, CRUD ऑपरेशंस इज नथिंग बट C फॉर क्रिएट एंड R फॉर रीड एंड U फॉर अपडेट and D for guess but delete. And accordingly we have HTTP methods according to the CRUD operation. Like for create we have a post HTTP method, and for read we have a get method, and for update we have a put or patch method. Okay, and for delete, guess what, it is delete. Yes, delete only, no innovative. Yeah, so that's how we have. Let's understand more about how it works. So Okay, so we have HTTP methods like uh, basically in REST API like get, post, put, post, delete. Okay, and HTTP methods define what action the client wants to perform basically on the server. That is defined by HTTP methods. Okay, and these all are the methods available with us. Basically, get is used for retrieving the data, and get method is used to fetch the data from the server, and it does not charge anything on the server, it only reads the data. That's how it's the example like get slash weather slash today. We are fetching the today's weather from the weather monitoring app. There is no request body and it is safe and read only. The same thing. Post is for create new data. Basically, post method is used to send the data to the server to create a new resource. An example is creating a new user account. Basically, post slash users is used for creating the new user. Let's suppose this is a request body, name Anurag and email this. Okay, and data is saved on the server and request body is required for this, and this is only for creating new data. Basically, put operation post we can also use for update in some projects. Let's not go into depth in those details. Yeah, basically put is used for updating existing data. Okay, put method is used to update an existing resource completely. Let's suppose we forgot to update the email, or we mistakenly passed the email address as wrong. I wanted to update this email field, so how can I do? By using the put request. Okay, it updates the existing data and replaces the old data with new data. Requires a request body. Yes, it requires a request body. And delete removes the data from the server. Basically, it removes the data from the server permanently. Okay, if you want to remove the data permanently, then you can remove. Let's suppose we want to delete this user with the user ID 101. So it can delete the data permanently, and there is no request body is required usually. So basically, what are the endpoints? Endpoint is nothing but a specific URL where the API can be accessed. It tells the server what resource you want to work with. Okay, and let's suppose here you see this delete slash users 101. This is nothing but a endpoint. Okay, and here are some examples like slash users 101 slash weather slash today. This is all are the endpoints. Each endpoint performs an action using an HTTP method like get, put, post, delete. What is a request? Request is sent by the client like browser, mobile app, postman. Browser like anything, Chrome browser, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and Safari. All are the browsers we can use. And mobile app like Flipkart, Amazon, etc. And postman basically is a API testing tool. We can use this for also sending the request, okay, to the server. And it what all it contains actually. रिक्वेस्ट बॉडी में क्या क्या होता है वो समझने वाली बात है. तो रिक्वेस्ट बॉडी में बेसिकली होता है HTTP मेथड. ओके, जो गेट, पुट, पोस्ट, डिलीट. ठीक है, एंड पॉइंट होता है और URL भी हो सकता है, फुल URL भी हो सकता है. ओके, और हेडर्स, कंटेंट टाइप और ऑथराइजेशन. ठीक है, कंटेंट टाइप और ऑथराइजेशन. और बॉडी, रिक्वेस्ट बॉडी इज मेनली यूज्ड विद द पोस्ट एंड पुट मेथड्स ओनली. ओके, so example request is get slash users slash 101. This is your endpoint and this is your get and HTTP method. What is the response? Basically, response is nothing but a response we got from the server after processing the request. Okay, so response contains status code 201, 200, 404, 500. So 200 is nothing but a okay, it means data is processed. Like we have we want to update anything, so what we expect? We expect like everything is passed, so we got the 200 okay response. Or we got we want to fetch the data, or we want to get the data, then in that time we also got the 200. 201 is basically used for creating that new data. new resource, and 404 is nothing but a unauthorized access related to authentication, and 500 is for basically for internal server error. We can discuss more details these status codes in a next video, so don't worry about this. And as of now, response body data in JSON, basically we response body we have data in JSON, okay, and headers we have a headers, okay. Response body you can see like this, this is a JSON format data, okay, ID 101, these all are the JSON data basically. So simple flow, client sends request, okay, and API hits the endpoint and server processes using HTTP method, and server sends responses. Basically URI versus endpoint. URI nothing but a uniform resource identifier. URI is the complete address that identifies a resource on the internet. Sometimes people confused with URI versus URL. URI is the complete address basically that identifies a resource on the internet, but URL is the address that locates a resource on the internet, okay. And all URLs are URI, but not all URIs are URLs, okay. Don't confuse with this, it's a minor difference basically. So this is the example here. It includes the protocol HTTPS, domain basically API weather.com, and path is your v3/weather /current, and query parameter after question mark city is your query parameter is equal to Delhi. That's how this URI is looks like. An endpoint is a specific API path that receives the request and performs operations using HTTP methods like /v3/weather/current. This is your endpoint. That is for specific purpose. This is the comparison table aspect like purpose, scope, works with example. You can see here. Purpose is identifies a resource, and entry point for API calls for endpoint. Scope is complete address, and endpoint is API path only. Works with resource identification, works with HTTP methods, and example this, and you can use this as examples. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you really like this video. If you like this video, please hit a like button and please subscribe my channel for more updates and videos. Stay tuned.